We're back here on One-on-One, keeping it rolling with an in-studio guest, joined very, very special guest, head coach of Fordham basketball, Coach Urgo. Coach, how you doing? Thanks for joining the show.
It's a great day to be a Ram.
That was the first question I was going to ask. Is it a great day to be a Ram?
Every day is a great day to be a Ram, man. We're fired up. We got a big-time day today. Got a recruit on campus, and we got a scrimmage on campus as well. Fortunately, can't tell you who that is. Some ridiculous rules by the NCAA. But, it'll be our first little test, get to play against someone else. We've been beating each other up for several months now. I mean, we had a foreign tour, got to play 2 games there, but we are excited. Just a couple of weeks away from the first official game, and our guys are fired up and ready to bang against someone else.
Right. And last time we talked, it was, I think, in August, you came to the studio with DQ. Appreciate your time there as well. Just kind of since then, could you give us an update, last month or so? Obviously, the foreign tour was after that. How that all went, how you guys are gearing up for the season as we're now only 2 weeks out?
Yeah, you know what? The foreign tour was absolutely incredible. It was an amazing opportunity for a lot of our guys. I mean, most of our guys hadn't been outside of the country other than our foreign players. And so that was just a treat. I mean, we got treated like gold while we were in the Bahamas and the Dominican Republic, and credit to Ed Cole and President Tetlow and our alumni base for putting up the funds for us to have a 5-star experience. And, it's cool, man. When you get to go away with your team and your staff, you really you bond. That's really when you get to know each other. And it's funny, we have about 6 players and coaches combined that don't swim. And as a result,
Wow.
We did a little catamaran, we did a little snorkeling. All 6 of those folks jumped in the water with the life jacket and tried to snorkel. Pretty hilarious.
That must have been some visual.
Oh, it was priceless. It was really a lot of fun. But, experiences like that, now we joke around and you get to know a little bit, you have all your meals together, and some of the families had come over, and, it wasn't really about the basketball. That was great, really, the 10 practices leading up to that. But what the best part about it is really getting a chance to spend time, learning quirks about each other on, while you're in the airport, who eats candy, who eats what, snacks and that kind of thing, and who's afraid of water slides and who's afraid of the ocean and sharks, and it's just a lot of good stuff, man. We had a blast, and I think the guys had a trip of a lifetime, man. You get to go away to a place like the Atlantis and Casa de Campo, not quite your average trip. So, but since then, school, we got a little time off to begin because we didn't want to wear our bodies out. And then, we're just trying to get healthy again. We have a couple of injuries, a couple of guys getting sick, but I'd like all of that to happen right now in the preseason. Mm-hmm. And our guys have been, they've been working incredibly hard. We've seen some great strides, some improvement out of a lot of our guys, specifically our freshmen. Their bodies have developed after one summer in our strength and conditioning program. And obviously, our upperclassmen have been tremendous. Their leadership is really starting to show itself. I'm excited to see what they bring today.
So your guys' first game coming up November 7th versus Columbia, and that'll be
Dartmouth.
Or Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That was, yeah.
Got to prepare over here.
Yeah.
Come on, Danny.
That's on me. Last year was against Columbia. I remember that, though.
Yep, it was. It actually was.
So this will be your first time as a head coach.
Yeah.
How has your preparation and mindset really kind of developed since becoming a head coach this year?
You know what, quite honestly, I know people say this, but it's not really much different. I've been doing it so long, and I was the associate head coach at Penn State for 8 of my 10 years there, and I was the associate head coach here, and I did a lot of the game planning, both offensive and defense with Coach Neptune. I did a lot of the scouting, and so not a whole lot of it, just making sure we're organized and we're detailed, and, making sure our staff, everybody knows exactly what's to be expected. The scrimmages are great. They give you, it's a dress rehearsal, right? You dress rehearsal day before, scout films and scout teams, and then day of, you really, our walkthrough today was a little bit longer than it typically would because we're walking through some things that we want to make sure are more like bench decorum and certain things like that, just to kind of make sure that next week in our second go-ahead, things are smooth. And then really by Dartmouth, that's our third game, and all the kinks have been kind of ironed out and we're ready to go. So not a whole lot's changed, to be quite honest. Just, I would say, and I did a lot of the practice plans and game planning last year, but every day making sure the practice plan is detailed and what's the purpose of each drill we do, and mixing up lineups and seeing really for the next couple of weeks who I want to or who we, I should say, we don't use I in our program, but who we want to see. Who we're still working on, kind of who works well together. We have a huge lineup. We're going to start today with Khalid Moore at the 3. That's a big deal when he played the 4 and really the 5 in the ACC for a number of years, and he's now starting the 3, sometimes playing the 2. And then we have a small lineup where he's not even in the game, and we got, a kid like Angel Montez at the 5 spot. So, we're just tinkering around with a few lineups, seeing who works well together, what your best defensive lineups are, your shooting lineups, your offensive kind of continuity lineups. So, we'll see. But it's right now I'm having a lot of fun.
While we're on the topic of the schedule, I know for you guys, I'm sure every game is the same. But from an outside perspective, if there's one game at a conference that you're looking at, it's Arkansas. Playing at Arkansas, that's one of the best programs in the country. So looking at what that experience could be for your guys, just wondering how you think something like that, how much you're looking forward to that, and how that can help them grow as they continue to learn and get better.
Yeah, let's just reiterate what you said in the very beginning. I don't really think about it too much. I'm more worried about today, quite honestly, because if we don't worry about today, we might not get to Arkansas. But obviously, it's a great opportunity for our guys. It's a Friday night. Arkansas has done Coach Musselman's done a tremendous job everywhere he's been. His teams, they're going to press. They're going to be in incredible shape. They're going to play hard as hell, and they're going to be extremely athletic. So for us, we're very strategic as to why we choose who we choose in the non-conference, whether or not it's a team that plays a Princeton style, and we might face that versus Davidson or whoever else. Arkansas is going to play very similar to teams like VCU, right? And VCU, we go on the road at, right? So we know that's going to be a hostile environment. So this is to prepare us for those types of environments, right? So, Friday nights, it's going to be electric. But quite honestly, I know they're a young team, and we have an old team. We got, 8 kids that are 21 and older. 4 kids that are 22 or maybe even more. So we're an old, experienced team that I don't think is going to be too rattled. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be, and if you're going to catch a team like that, you want to get them where they're early on in the season where they haven't hit their stride, and hopefully because of our foreign tour, even though I believe they have one too, but they're still really young. Our foreign tour and our experienced players, our older guys are more prepared. But it's going to be a great experience for our guys and our staff. Either way, we're gonna try to get better that night and move on from that. Whether or not it's a win or a loss, it's about moving on and become the best team we can be by the end of the year. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about you guys having a little bit of an older team, and you got guys that have been around for a while. How important is that maturity and leadership that you have on your team this year?
Oh, it's you can't even explain it. It's just having experience, having guys that are a little bit older who've been through kind of the day-to-day grind that college sports, but specifically basketball is, right? So, understanding injury prevention, right? So every single day before and after practice, getting into the cold tubs, which is a miserable experience, but just getting into that routine where now it's just kind of second nature, having a routine of greatness that we call, right? You get up the same, you eat the same, you go to class, you do your thing, you know exactly what time you're going to get your extra shots up, you know what time you're going to get with the trainer, you know what time you're going to get with the strength coach, you know what time you're going to get to practice, and then, what you're going to eat after practice and your study hall habits. You have a day-to-day routine already because you've been in it for so long. You know what you know what the road is like, the travel experience is like. So, it's just, and you're not really phased because all of our guys have played at big time arenas in front of packed houses. So, especially at the guard position, it means a great deal. And obviously, over the course of the last 5-7 years, you've seen that throughout the college basketball landscape. The teams that have really been the most consistent and finished the strongest typically are older teams now, especially with the transfer portal.
Right, and you bring up a lot of that experience on your team, but there's also a ton of young talent that you guys had, a great recruiting class coming in. So when you look at that, kind of previewing what we could see there, but also the balance between some of those younger guys who are still getting their feet wet versus that older experience, how do you expect that balance to play out?
Yeah, you know what? It's raised the level of practice. The competition's off the charts. Older guys got to bring it every day. they could get surpassed, right? So it's always great to have a lot of depth and some young guys that are pushing the older guys, and they're looking over their shoulder like, if I don't bring it today, I could be slipping some minutes here, right? So that's incredibly healthy for our program and our locker room. But I will say this. Our locker room has been so connected. It's remarkable. Our guys get along so well. If you ask our freshmen, which is something I ask them all the time, they're just blown away. They didn't expect the team to gel like this. And that's really a credit to our staff and a credit to the older guys and both the younger guys too. Nobody has coming in with some selfish attitude. They're all ready to kind of learn, be sponges, and they want to do something that's never been done here before. So, I mean, we have a great amount of balance. Pretty much every position we got to bring in this year, from wings to bigs and guards. So, and really high-level talent, and that have improved dramatically. But they're really coachable, and what's really important is they're great students, but even better IQ on the court. So for us right now, we're just pleased with the development. Now there's still a long way to go, especially physically, and guys getting into shape and understanding coaching and how rigorous scouting reports are and film study. But they're getting there, and they seem to be excited about the future.
And real quick, my last question. What is this team's identity this year?
We want to be the hardest playing team in the Atlantic 10, right? So last year we were 40th in the country in defensive efficiency, 327th in offense. So, the idea is we got much more depth, we got much more kind of skill and talent with athleticism. So we want to continue to keep that high level of defensive intensity while getting out and run, playing fast. We're going to press a lot more. We're going to try to have a lot more depth. We want to play 9-10 guys. We have that type of team. And as a result, guys like Darius Quisenberry and Khalid Moore and Antrell Charlton, they don't need to play 38 minutes a game like they did last year. And when th're playing 27, 28, 30, 31 minutes, well, those 31 minutes are going to be much more valuable than they would be if they're playing 38. So we're going to play hard. We're going to play really tough, but we're going to play fast. And in doing that, we've worked a lot on taking care of the basketball. Last year, we turned the ball over, especially in the non-conference, way too often, which cost us dearly. So we're really focusing on playing fast without turning it over.
Coach, last question really quick. Do you miss Chuba? Because I miss seeing him around campus.
I got to be honest with you, man. I miss the personality. He keeps in touch with us constantly. He's doing a great job overseas, playing big time. They love him over there. He's playing really well, so hopefully he continues to progress. But, he's a larger-than-life figure, and he became kind of a great mentor for guys like Abdou Simbala and guys like Roslav Nowitzki, and young guys looked up to him. And but he still keeps in touch. He continues to check in on us, and we're gonna miss him dearly. But he's always welcome back.
Good. I really hope to see him in Rose Hill this year, Coach. Thank you for the time. Good luck in the scrimmage today and as the season goes on.
Well, we appreciate you guys having me on. I just want to reiterate, Late Night on the Hill on Thursday night. We got a big-time performer. It's going to probably be one of the coolest events you've ever seen in Rose Hill. It's open for the students. We want as many students out as possible. We got to pack the place. I don't want to mention any names, but, you see on Twitter, you see some of these empty gyms. We got to change the face and take pride in the front of the jersey here at Fordham, man. We need to make sure the students understand that this place needs to be rocking. And as a result, we have a home court advantage. Let's start it Thursday night. I promise you won't be disappointed.
What time is that, just for the people?
I think it's doors open right around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Okay. I do not have those particulars, but believe me, we'll be out on campus. We'll be doing some dorm rush, whatever I got to do. I'll get up on picnic tables, T-shirts galore, whatever you guys need, man. But, again, the performer, we don't want to mention him. I don't think we can right now, probably during the week. But these guys will love the performer. Coach Cole, the Student Association, everybody's put in a lot of time, energy, effort, and a lot of money. You're seeing some resources spent on specifically athletics, but specifically men's and women's basketball, unlike any other time. Credit to the Board of Trustees, credit to Ed Cole, and now you're going to see some of that come to fruition on Thursday night.
You got me fired up.
Let's go.
Already?
Let's go. It'll be a great night. I promise you that.
That'll be a great night to be a Ram.
Yeah, yes. Every night.
So stay tuned here. We'll be back shortly with more one-on-one.
Appreciate you.